This is only to see if my shit is fucked or not.
We're gonna be.
That's all I'm doing.
Dogfighting the Sukhoi 30 SM.
This
is the obviously the what do you call it? The thrust vectoring flanker. Many of you have seen this on the channel before. This thing is a real beast, especially in a high off bore sight fight like this. The one circle.
Okay,
turn.
we're in the gripping.
These modern fights usually only last like
Beautiful
one turn.
cockpit.
You know, under 10 seconds.
Nice heads-up display.
So
I like the modernized panel. I like the old stuff more because that's what I serve with. But
we want like a
sometimes the modern displays are just so simple and nice to look at, especially when you're dogfighting in a merge.
Look at this. Here we go.
With a 4th gen.
Ooh, look at that turn.
Whoa, that's a nice turn.
The way that thing just points its nose.
That nose is just on us.
Like that Fox 2.
Yep, that was a horrible merge for us. That was a crazy good turn. They could have just gunned us if they wanted to. And the Griping is super maneuverable. But that was just a crazy Fox 2. That is gone. There's no chance against that. So this is the super maneuverable version of the flanker. That's why you see it has the canards here on it. Basically, this is a trade-off to where it performs worse at high speed, high altitude, but a lot better at low speed, low altitude, i.e. in a dogfight. That's kind of what both of these jets are. The Gripin's more of a multi-role, but I suppose you could make that argument for the Flanker H as well.
The Russians, you know, they keep building things that are super maneuverable, and they love their flankers with the thrust vectoring, and you know, they have their Sukhoi 57s capable of the same thing.
And when he says thrust vectoring, what my boy is talking about here is, so twin engines, right? Like the Tomcat, most people would be more familiar colloquially with like the F-14 Tomcat having twin thrusters, right? A lot of aircraft have these, like my favorite, the Eagle. A lot don't, like the F-16, even though the F-16, for as small and as lightweight as it is, has an insane carrying capacity for munitions. Anyways, I digress. What thrust vectoring is you can influence the rate of your turn, especially like if you think about, so, you know, we have pitch, roll, and yaw, right? You can really influence the rate of your yaw. It's kind of like drifting your car, where like you turn like you want to go the other way, then yank the wheel back, but you're doing that with the power of the engines that you're putting out. So if you put more power out of this engine and take a lot less power out of this engine while you're trying to turn really hard this way, that's going to help you do that. That's going to rate that turn a lot faster, and that's what's going to help point your nose that fucking scarily fast and emerge in a one-circle fight like that. You don't need twin engines to be super maneuverable, but it helps.
Why the Russians, you know, they keep building things that are super maneuverable, and they love their flankers with the thrust vectoring, and you know, they have their Sukhoi 57s capable of the same thing. These modern fighters, especially from the Russian side, they're, you know, completely designed for that one circle min radius turn right at the merge, the thrust vectoring, the lifting bodies, the canards,
everything that I just said.
All of these things go into that, and they want that super tight min radius turn, and then, you know, helmet mounted sight for that high off bore sight shot, and theoretically they'll win every fight like that, you know. And you know, the theory is not bad. That flanker performs really well, especially in the merge. You can see it, you know, come super tight in the merge, and then it pulls like a few more degrees with the nose when that thrust vectoring
just
really
sneeze crazy hard,
which is pretty wild to watch it. Here we go into the merge. I'm coming in super slow this time.
Yeah, he doesn't want to.
Tighter turn than I did.
That's bad.
And dead. Ooh.
That was close. Yeah. These are going to be tight fights with these two platforms.
I promise. He learned from that.
So when he said he came in super slow that time, he didn't want to force an overshoot. He was trying to force a two-circle fight, which one circle is where you're chasing each other. Two circle is where one's chasing the other's tail. Okay? That's kind of hard to think about, but if you think about when you're chasing each other around, you're making one circle with two planes. When you're following right after one another, you're making two different planes are making two separate circles. He didn't want to force the overshoot, because that's what he did the first time he came in too fast. This time was really close for both of them. He could have had a high off foresight shot.
Really helps
they both have helmet
which is pretty wild
cans
to watch it. Here we go into the merge. I'm coming in super slow this time.
So if he was a little bit faster, he would be, it's hard for me to demonstrate this, but imagine that he'd be like 300 meters in front, but exactly where he is now. And look at where this flanker H's nose is pointed. And look how fast it comes up and around. If he was any further forward, so if he was coming in too fast to this merge, easy flanker dub.
Turn, and I did. Fox 2.
And that Fox 2 took a pretty sharp turn, but he launched it off the rail
he won't let that happen again, though.
Helpful angle.
He learned from that.
So that was a good kill.
That's a one-time trick. But that Iris T, you can see, you know, the short range, these missiles are super hard to jam the Wez on these things.
Yeah, they have a good Wez. That's impressive. Usually Fox 2s can't. I mean, that's not, you're not asking too. That's a big turn, actually. You see how it looped like that? Let me see if I can put this in. This might not look like much, but you're asking a missile that's going very, very fast to acquire, track, and seek till terminal something else that's going very, very fast. That's a pretty sharp turn that it does off this rail here. That's pretty extreme to get that. That's impressive. He's close to debris too. Holy cow. Whoa. Oh, man. Wow.
If you are new to the channel and unfamiliar with the concept of jamming a Wez, think of it as like two boxers when like they hug because he doesn't want to get punched anymore. He wants to get close to him so he can't, you know, throw punches at him. Think of it like that.
Okay, so when he says Wez, that's weapon engagement zone. So basically, there's a min-max range, right? Everything has a maximum range that it can go out to, but there's also a minimum range because of your gimbal limits with your fire control radar and your nose cone, and the fact that you don't want the missile to be right on top of you as it detonates on the adversary. So when we say Wez, when we say jam the Wez, what we're saying is we're literally so close to each other that we can't get a fire control solution missile off the rail and shoot. So sometimes the safest thing to do is like you're playing Dark Souls, you roll right into the enemy and they're swinging over your head. That's what he means when he says jam the Wez. Too close to get hit.
You want to get super close to the guys so the missile, even though they're capable of like super high G pulls, these modern missiles, there is a range at which even they cannot turn.
The pucker factor? Yeah, dude, I fucking love this guy's videos. They're so cool. This guy taught me how like dogfighting and BVR fighting is actually done.
American aircraft doctrine moved away from dogfighting and said we probably won't do that anymore, so we don't need to build aircraft that are super maneuverable. The Russians, for whatever reason, have decided that it's still very important to build super maneuverable aircraft that can dogfight like this. A different approach in doctrine, if you will. Into the merge here, and look at that nose.
That is incredibly maneuverable. He's probably got tone for a kill right now.
Must be nice. And here is a Fox 2
That is a Fox 2.
Just goes by.
Now, the Jaws 35 Gripen is really nice. I don't know the most about it. It does have that delta wing with the canards, so I would consider it super maneuverable. Low altitude, low speed, probably not the best BVR fighter. The F-22 and the F-15 are the king supreme. It's not even close of BVR. There are a couple other platforms that are pretty good at it.
And it seems like I'm out of flares.
Ooh.
Oh, almost had a gun opportunity there. If there's one problem with the Gripen, it's that it doesn't carry enough flares. Oh,
that's going to be a Fox 2 off the rail. I see it. That's going to... Oh, he got lucky on that. He had no more flare. I can't believe that Fox 2 just missed. That was a great shot.
I have no explanation. He tries to gun me there as to why that missile missed, but I don't care. He's out of missiles now. He's down to guns only. So this fight is mine if I don't screw it up from here. Pull the nose up, let him slip under. Fox 2 missed.
That was kind of an antsy shot.
With thrust vectoring is you lose a lot of your airspeed. Look at that missile. You see it do that loop?
Oh, it looped back and tried though.
When you lose your airspeed, you kind of fall out of the sky.
Okay, they're going down to the deck here.
And that's kind of what happened.
This is about to turn into a 1-circle deck rate fight. Nope, still a 2-circle.
This is the perfect
he is falling straight out of the sky. He's got to do something to stay alive instead of get terrain killed. That's a good sign. Wow.
Got him. Wow.
He kept calm and stayed alive really well there. He's really good at that. I mean, it's just a game, but I was getting worried about getting terrain killed there on that one. He was falling straight down. That fight turned all the way around from that Fox 2 missing. I think it chased it. I think it was thrust vectoring so much that it chased after the engine heat.
In this modern environment to get into these
really hard.
Like, imagine you accidentally merge, right? Let's say you're in a mountain environment or something. There's clouds, choppy AWACS cover, not the best data link, whatever. And like
fucking link 16 sucks.
It just comes over
awesome
the
when it works, but
hey, you're merged. And you look back and you see a flanker, and now you're in a merge, and between now and the next 10 seconds, either you're going to be dead or he's going to be dead. And isn't that a crazy thing to think about? Like, this is the modern dogfight environment. That's how deadly it is. That's how unforgiving it is. And the only way that this gets, even more deadly from here, I think, is if you build, like, lasers and you put them on the aircraft so you merge and the laser just, cooks the guy. That's the only way I can think of this getting even more deadly than this. All right, into the merge
okay,
here,
forcing a 2-circle, it looks like. Nope, 1-circle. Wow, he's going to try and pull that all the way around, and he could. That is a bold move there. But that's what super maneuverability gets you. He might get a shot off here, or he could guns. Ooh, just barely slipped under his nose.
He went for it, though. He definitely thought about it.
If I were him, I would just be playing for it. That's wow. I'm surprised that Fox 2 missed.
My missile didn't come off for some reason. Seems like I squeezed it, but come on, give me a lock. Fox 2 missed again. Wow.
I would be playing him for guns all the way to the deck. I would force a 1-circle. I would force a rate fight to the deck with him, and then just cat and mouse him and gun him.
I was sure I was dead there. That's the second time that's happened. But here we go. I need some speed here if I'm going to rate fight him. He's down to guns only, but I can't get him off my 6. And he's just outside of the range where I can lock him up.
Oh, that's a hit.
He hit me. I got hit. We're still good. Everything's fine.
Are we leaking anything? Right in the spine. You don't want to get hit there, but I don't see any black or white smoke.
If you see underbelly of the aircraft, that tells you he's pulling lead. Not anymore because he's got my 6. But when I was looking for that, he was just behind this stripe I have across the top of the
This is bad for us. This is very, very bad for us.
All I can do is get an overshoot. And I'm just trying to nose counter him, but I have no airspeed.
This is horrible for us. This is basically we have to do our best to make him make a horrible. No, not happening. You would have to force a horrible mistake. Oh, that's not a good. You don't want to eject like that. I probably don't have to explain to you why you don't want to eject like that. That for the Gripen was very unwinnable. The only way to have won in this situation, down here on the deck, low speed, him 1-circling you on your 6 like that, just playing with you, you would have to like pretend to be incompetent, which gets you the risk of getting shot, and make him impatient and try to pull him into your HUD for a gunshot solution after just playing with him down here for so long that he's like, all right, I'm ending the fight. And basically kind of like slam on your brakes, the equivalent of, and make him overshoot you, and then you shoot him as he tries to pull up. Because once he realizes he's overshooting you, he's going to pull up to take off speed to try and get back behind you. So once he pulls up, you're going to try and fucking lace his spine with 20 mil. but this pilot's clearly not an idiot. I think this is being flown by a friend of his. I don't think this is AI. They seem too intelligent. The AI in this game is very smart, but this seems like a human player.
All right,
This is an interesting fight.
The final round.
This flanker H is no joke.
That Sukhoi gets onto your 6, it's extremely difficult.
Russians can't BVR for shit, though. Sorry.
The aircraft that I've had the easiest time of doing that is the F-16 in a guns-only fight, because the F-16 just hits.
And do not talk to me about the Su-57 Felon. We'll watch a video about the
Sukhoi 30 is too slow.
The 57 Felon next. That thing's a joke. Get out of here with it.
That works, but in the last fight, this is one of the problems. Even if you're a better rate fighter and you go into the rate slow, you're nowhere near your rate speeds. So the other guy's going to outrate you, or he's going to sit inside your circle and take shots at you, and you'll die anyway.
So due to the conventional wing design of the flanker H, what he's saying here, because he has to come into the fight slow, or he's going to just get out-nosed because the other guy has thrust vectoring and conventional swept-back wing design, whereas we have the delta wing formation on our Gripen. You have to come in slow, which puts you at a disadvantage. Speed is lethality in a dogfight. You want potential energy that you can cash in for kinetic energy at all times. That's why when we were down on the deck in the last one, I was like, we're slow. He's right behind us. He's not an idiot. We're not going to be able to force an overshoot. Like, honestly, at that point, you take 120 mil and you punch out.
Very important. You don't want to be super slow. At least not on the deck. Into the merge here. Where'd he go? Where'd he go? Oh,
I think he just overshot.
Oh, there he is. He's out in front.
So basically, this flanker has better stall ability. It can slow down and accelerate a lot better than we can.
We've never been tighter.
That's
in this fight. Super close.
bad.
Look at this Fox 2.
Oh, I don't know how that missed. Maybe flares helped with that one, probably.
He's got my 6 here. We're gonna rudder to roll around.
This whole fight, this should scare you. This whole fight, you notice this flanker H is just staring right at us all the time. It can go up and do like a crazy turn, and you just notice like every time we pick it back up, it's like nose right at us. This is not what usually happens. Usually in most dogfights, hey Joey, what's up, buddy? In most dogfights, you see that for like a split second, and then you go past each other again. Then you reposition in a 1 circle or a 2 circle, and then and then like what you're trying to do is be the guy that is like nose onto them while they're like this first for a split second. This whole fight, this fucking flanker hotel is just like, I'm gonna shoot you whenever I feel like it.
Unable to get the lock. Over-ruddered a little bit.
That's scary.
I think a missile just went by.
Woo!
Yeah, I saw the smoke trail of a missile for a second there. So
and see, we're basically in a controlled flat spin. We're going back down to the deck. We have no potential energy to cash in a kinetic.
There we go, nice.
That was a nice forced overshoot, but he almost hit the ground there. I know we're looking up, but that was close.
The missile won't come off. I swear I'm holding it. It says no launch authorization. I'm too close, so the missile's not coming off. But this looks good. He's panicking. Look at all those flares. He knows he's in trouble. Fox 2.
That should be a kill. That's a kill.
Ran out of flares. Splash 1. Sukhoi 30.
It was like floating right there. That was an interesting fight. We can watch. Oh, here's another flanker. This is a Raphael. YF-23, is that Chinese? The Viper performs incredibly well. Okay, here we go. Here's a Raptor versus a Checkmate. The Viper is so much better than I ever thought. I always thought it looked cool as a kid, and the Viper is what real pilots call the fighting Falcon.
Hey guys, welcome back
Nobody
to another
calls it
video.
that
Today we're here
in the
in
Air
F-22
Force.
Raptor, since we've been...
This cockpit is so fucking nice and clean. I love... My favorite cockpits are the F-18, the F-16, the F-15. But this fucking... This Raptor's cockpit is just perfect. It's like everything you want, nothing you don't need. It's a bubble canopy, which is what the F-16 is, which is why I like it so much. The 15 is my favorite, but I'm completely biased because the 15 is just my favorite plane ever made, period. Hi, Zan. Test stream. The 14 is hard for me to fly in, but it's the best, like, old school analog-y cockpit. Besides the P-51 and the F-6F.
Doing those checkmate videos.
What you testing?
And, I talked about
everything because I broke everything last night somehow without changing any kind of settings or anything.
A lot of you in the comment section said, well, then let's...
So we're just sports play by playing some dogfights.
We're going to do that here today.
And maybe I'll play some my own fighter pilot game that I got later.
He's firing actually
Classic streamer. I got so mad because I didn't do anything and everything just changed. And I know people are going to say, Hunter, that's not how computers work. Obviously, you told it to do something. No, I swear to you, this fucking thing, all the time, just does things.
Two R-77Ms. I don't have them on radar here, though.
So this will probably be more of a BVR fight. I doubt there'll be a merge in this. So this is going to look completely different than the last fight we just watched.
We're going to get above
this is like sniper versus sniper type of fighting.
We've seen those fired from the MiG-31.
Oh, I don't have the... sorry, I turned the subtitles off.
They're very fast and pretty dangerous. Let's level out here. We are in the cons. Let me punch the radar out to like 160. And look at this. I actually do have something on radar here.
Thanks, Dan. Windows computers do be like that. They just thank you, so I'm not absolutely insane. Like it will literally just be like, oh, your audio input is this device now, and I'll be like, huh? Why? No.
He's actually locking me as well. He's at 18,000 feet. I have him locked.
I think the Raptor came out in like
Fox 3.
It's older than it looks and feels like. It was like 96 or 94 or something.
That is an AIM-120D in the air. A little bit outside of range.
Give him something to think about, though.
Better than nothing.
Make him defend. That's the checkmate. They're launching an R-77M.
Scare him.
Looks like they're lower, so that R-77. So, one thing about these beyond visual, when I say BVR, I mean beyond visual range. I mean, we're using our radar and our advanced missile technology to seek, track, and home. So, we should never actually see each other, for the most part, unless things get kind of messy, and then it's going to be like a 10 nautical mile dogfight, where we're shooting long range. We're arching at each other, but we're defending. We're going nose hot, getting launched, firing a Fox 3, going off cold, going back down, terrain masking, which is flying low to the ground, and defending their shot that we probably don't know for sure. We're probably not going to get RWR, but we're going to assume that they did, because once we see them go off cold and turn away, they're only doing that after they've taken a shot at us also. So it's kind of like a chess match with these long range fights. But you want to be higher than they are when you start shooting, because you're basically going to both come to each other, get launch off, shoot, shoot, defend, defend, shoot, shoot, defend, defend, shoot, shoot, defend, defend. You want to be higher than them the entire time that you can, not only because you're going to have more potential energy to cash in for kinetic with speed and altitude, but because the higher you are, especially when you start your engagement as high as possible, the thinner the air is. The thinner the air is, the less drag and friction there is on your missile that it has to fight through. That extends the range of it and gives you more potential for a kill
for sure the hypersonic missile
with these long-range fights.
I promise you, we are well in range of this thing at 66 miles. I remember the MiG-31 launching this at like over 200 kilometers or 300 kilometers or something like that. So we're in range for sure.
So we're shooting at each other
Still
beyond the
crank
curvature of the
bit,
Earth right now.
on our way down. Missile is fast, but it's not that fast. So I do have some time, especially as it gets up to speed. It's still coming over here. It might lose lock as we defend, reducing altitude. It might lose me in the ground clutter. We'll see. It's still tracking. It's still coming over here. Missile's still coming over here. I'm actually going to go cold a little bit. Okay, I lost lock. I was providing guidance to my AMRAAM in the crank there. Instead of going cold, I'm going to put them in the notch, because I think I'm way too far inside the MAR to run away from this thing. Oh, there it is. Yeah, it's coming.
Okay, let me explain some stuff. So the reason that he's going down to the ground, right? Yes, the lethal is more missile when it's higher than you. However, the missile can only see at its parallel and look down, right? So when he says hopefully it loses me in the ground clutter, that's what I mean by terrain masking. The closer to the ground you are, the more likely, especially with the stealth profile of the F-22, because the F-22 on good radars looks about the size of a fucking bumblebee. The closer to the ground you are, the more likely the missile is to overlook you as just part of the terrain. That's what we mean by terrain masking, what just basically simply said flying low to the ground. When he's talking about going off cold and in the crank, what he means in the crank is he's keeping his adversary that he launched our missile at, our long-range missile at, our Fox 3 at, in the radar gimbal limits. So he's turning away to fight this missile that's incoming, but he's also keeping the enemy within where the radar can look. So if you think about that like as your peripheral vision, like it's kind of like, how much can I face this way, but I can still see what I'm trying to shoot at? So with these Fox 3s, you don't have to hone them all the way in with our radar, but you're much more likely, obviously, if you're talking to them all the way there, than if you just send them off and let them do their own thing until terminal, which we call pitbull. That's what he means by that. What he just said by going in the notch is we're this way, the enemy missile's coming in, we're going to notch it by going straight parallel 90 degrees to it, because the missile can only see, using its radar, things that are coming towards it or going away from it. So when you notch it and you compound that fire control solution for the missile by a factor of terrain masking, so you're underneath it, you're low to the ground, you're hoping it sees you as ground clutter, and it can't really see you very much as you're moving more parallel to it than towards or away from it. The notch is just going parallel to it, so it has a much higher a harder time seeing you, because it's looking for stuff getting closer to it or further away from it to track towards as a target. When you're moving parallel to it, it can lose you really easily. That's what the notch means.
Just chaffing here, and either I'm going to explode in a second here, or I already defeated it, and I think I defeated it. Everything's quiet, so yeah, I think we beat it. Let's go ahead and recommit here. It's kind of scary. You never really know, you know.
Recommit very simply means pulling back in for a fire control solution.
Situational awareness here. He's outside of 40 miles.
Instead of be worried about defending from the missile, because we're assuming we beat it already.
So he's still outside of range of my AMRAAMs, but I'm going to give him one anyway. Fox
And the only
3.
way... Fox 3 off the rails. The only way you beat these long-range missiles is you hide from them long enough that they run out of energy and cannot reach you anymore. That's what we mean by defeat the missile. That probably makes sense, but I have fun explaining this because I had a lot of fun learning it.
Honestly, just shooting those AMRAAMs to do something, you know, so he can't just push here uncontested. Reducing altitude and just trying to get low enough to duck behind this hill in the distance because he's shooting from over there somewhere.
So this is, like I said, it's like a chestnut. So right now what we're trying to do is narrow in his attack vector. We're trying to figure out where it is that he's shooting from. We're sending missiles that we don't have a lot of confidence are going to hit him, but we can't just let him aggressively push us, so we got to give him something to think about, give him something to defend himself, so we can't just stay nose hot on our ass the whole time. Because if he gives us more than one Fox 3 at a time to have to defend from different vectors, then we're going to be in all kinds of trouble.
You can see that,
and we're not going to be able to press at all.
So probably hit somebody's house on the other side of that hill. So we'll go ahead and recommit here. I waited a little bit to see if it would come out the other side of the hill, but it didn't. So I think we're good. So
basically what we're doing here is we're using deduction. So he saw his missile chase into this hill. So what he's assuming right now, what our POV is, missile came down to here. So what we're assuming is adversary terrain mask down below the crest of this hill, and did such a good job that he's very low down here somewhere because the missile slammed into the hill instead of chasing him up back out of the valley, because at this close it would have had enough fuel and energy to chase back up and out. And since we don't see our missile or any contrails from either our missile or the adversary jet, we're assuming that he's low and somewhere down here. So this is all basically a puzzle that we're piecing together so we can know where to look for him and get a really confident shot off on him.
We can pick him up on radar as we recommit here.
At the same time, we gotta watch out for if we get launched on and stay defensive. But we can't just wait and get like a sure shot on him, because then he'll get one on us.
I've been shooting some missiles.
We're both, it's like a dance, right?
I'm on radar here.
It's like fencing, kind of.
Once I defeat, you know, he can only carry 3 of these hypersonics. So once I defeat all these, he'll be in trouble. Fox 3 at 31 miles. Again, out of range, but better than nothing.
Okay, and there goes his last R-77 out. So, like he just said, if we beat this one, because we know he can only carry 3 of these, then he's going to be in a lot of trouble. Because he's not going to have any kind of spear for us. He's going to be down to a knife. And we have swords. So we're going to be able to press him really aggressively now because we have way more range to touch him than he does for us.
Pushing over here. I'm going to reduce altitude. Everything's fine. The missile is coming from over there somewhere. I don't see it visually yet. But you can hear it. It's coming over here for sure. It sees me. I kind of have it in a notch. Roar.
Thank you for the roar sign. You noticed how he knows there's a hypersonic missile locked onto him right now, right? But you're never gonna, you can't panic and freak out. That's how you die. That is how you die. You just gotta be like, okay, I'm launched on, it's fine. I know at least 180 degrees where it's coming from. I'm already terrain masking. I'm in a stealth jet. I have a good radar profile. I have a really good chance if I just stay calm. Once I ascertain the exact vector of this missile, could probably really easily defeat it.
Still don't see it, but you can hear it still. It's out there somewhere. And flat terrain out here too, not much for me to hide behind. There it is.
There it
I
is.
see it. Oh, I see it. It sees me too. Chaffing, going low. Let me correct this notch real quick. And oh, it just went by.
See how fast it closed right there? So what saved his ass there is him being able to visually pick up exactly where it was coming from. And when you heard him say, let me correct this notch, he went more cleanly 90 degrees to it. And that's probably what just caused that missile to miss right there. That was very, very close. You don't like missiles to miss in front. You like them to miss behind. That missile had plenty of energy and a really good look. That was fortunate.
I think that was
very
really
fortunate.
Close. I think I got really lucky there. Look at that. Hit somebody's house all the way over there. Whoops. All right, let's recommit. He's definitely out of hypersonics now. And he definitely has the 77Ms. He still has 2 of those, I believe. But this is a much more fair fight now. My AIM-120D against the 77M. The odds are turning in my favor here. As we climb at 24 miles. Fox 3 at 23 miles now.
And the reason you see, I'm sure most people know this, but the reason you see on stealth jets, they have this internal weapons compartment. That makes it so you can't carry as many munitions, and then like the bay door opens while we fire it, and then it closes back up. That seals off your radar signature better. It's just a stealth thing. A lot of times, and I can tell you this from personal experience being a Spy 1D Aegis operator, a lot of times, no matter how slick and stealth the vehicle is, like an Su-25 Frogfoot, we can see your weapons on your wings. From 500 nautical miles away. You ain't slick. So masking your weapons, especially while they're active, like while you're targeting and they're actively transmitting fire control radar, helps a lot. That helps a lot, having an internal weapons bay on a stealth fighter. Hi Benny, thanks for the shout outs, man. Thanks for the shout outs on the secret stream that's a test and doesn't count for anything. How you doing, buddy?
The 77M.
Okay, so that was 33 miles per hour.
Still a scary missile, but not that much.
33 miles per hour, 33 miles
I fought the
launch
77M
that Fox
with the
3
Raptor against the Sukhoi 35, for example. And although annoying, but you can definitely deal with it. I'm off cold here.
These long-range fights probably aren't interesting to most people because you don't see anything and you don't really know what's happening until you learn all this shit. I find them fascinating, but I still would rather watch like a classic.
Somewhat dangerous of a missile.
I like watching gunfights the best, like World War II, Vietnam era planes, just going at it.
And I'm gonna try to get a little bit closer. I don't want to waste too many AMRAAMs here.
This stuff you gotta kind of understand, like radar stuff and stuff.
That's the 77M.
And like how missiles and modern dogfighting actually works. But I like to show one every once in a while. Because it's nice when you can have someone explain to you what's going on. And he does a good job of this.
That's the old 77.
But I get to pause the video and be like, this is what he means by this. This is what this means by that.
Up here in the air. And I had to defend it because, we've talked about those things have that dual stage booster. So I had to be a little bit more careful in case it saw me and then turned on the booster to try to kill me.
So right there, what he just meant by dual stage booster, that means that's a long range cruise missile. So what that means is it's going to use rocket propellant to get up high in orbit towards its target. And then it's going to use gravity to fall like a ballistic missile. And then if it sees its target and it's pretty sure it can steer to it, it's going to activate its second stage booster, which means it's going to fucking spear into it really, 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 really fast using terminal velocity from gravity and its second stage engine, and just those are really hard to defeat if they see you when they're up in their basically the apex of their flight and they're hunting down for you.
You can't just ignore it. It's over that forest area somewhere, that missile. Every time I head over there, it tries to hit me. So I'm actually gonna open up a little bit towards the water here. Make sure that I'm out of range of that missile, essentially. But this is the thing with the Raptor, you know, like the Raptor's really helping you not get hit. You have to use your brain a little bit for situational awareness and just don't go where the missiles are. But for the most part, the Raptor's stealth is doing all the hard work for me here. Over the water now, I'm going to turn back in and start recommitting. See if we can find him.
A lot of things have the word, especially because like movies and video games and like news, like mass media likes to throw the word stealth around a lot. Like anything that looks futuristic is stealth. That's not the case. Stealth refers to how well can it hide its return signature on an advanced radar. The Raptor has very impressive stealth. The F-35 is not meant to do the missions that the Raptor is. It has impressive stealth for being a multi-role fighter. The Raptor has the most advanced currently and the most impressive stealth on an airframe, period. Besides, unless you want to get into stuff like long-range strategic bombers like a B-1 Raider, SR-72 Dark Star, which that's scary. I don't want to scare you guys knowing that we have that.
So still sees me, but I'm confident it doesn't have the energy to hit me now. You see my RWR said BB on it, Big Bird, and there's a CS for clamshell. That's the S-300 looking for me as well.
S-300 is
so
a
far, the Raptor
mobile
killer has not killed a Raptor.
air intercept, basically SAM, surface-to-air launcher, but it's air intercept and SAMs are different to us, but to you, to anybody normal that's not a nerd like me, it's the same thing. It's a land-based missile trying to shoot down an enemy jet.
He's kind of hiding
S-300 is a missile site, a mobile surface-to-air missile site. That's what clamshell means.
You know, he's feeling the tables turning a little bit. Although right now he is pushing me. He is coming for a head-on at 20 miles, which makes me think he still has one more missile. He wouldn't be doing this if, you know, he didn't have something to shoot. Fox 3 from me, 17 miles. That's dangerous. 17
miles is really good for Fox 3. They can be lethal at the 36. Obviously, the closer you get, the more likely they are to hit. That's common sense, right? Okay, he's way above us. We're going to have to fight up, but we have plenty of range and energy on that missile with that.
At this range, it can find its own target using its own radar. So I'm off cold immediately. There's that R-77 he shot at me, already going pitbull. So I will be going cold here.
So we fired, and because we were so close, it doesn't need our help to track towards terminal. Its onboard radar is going to take care of that, so we can fire and immediately defend, because he correctly assumed that we were going to take one as well.
Could be outside of the MAR, theoretically speaking.
When he says MAR, shit, I forgot what MAR stands for. I can explain it to you, but I forgot what it stands for, and I'd rather remember really quickly what MAR means. It's either minimum or maximum attack range. Basically, being outside of the MAR means so you're kind of like playing this game of like for what type of missile it is, right? You want to be on like the very edge of the range of his missile. So like, sure, you can get an engagement and a launch authorization on that missile, but you're going to be able to quickly like retreat and pull back and get out of that. So he's firing that missile at like its very limit to where it can potentially chase and hit you. When you're at that limit, because you have to flirt with that to be able to get your own missile off at him, when you're at that limit, it's going to be easier for you to break that lock and defeat that missile.
And, you know, we'll stay cold here for a little bit.
It's very simply saying,
and then I'll
get as close as you can to stab them without getting too close for them to stab you.
And also the hypersonic, the 37M.
Thank you for shouting out the fake
Russian
stream.
Are doing a good
Amber.
job of,
how are you today?
maintaining a lock,
I
even on
passed
something like a
out last
Raptor.
night when you were in Tuppence stream talking
Although
about
the Raptor did defeat the Hypersonics
celebrities in movies.
with
I was
stealth,
like,
technically speaking.
I
So
can't contribute to this conversation. Good night. Hi, Dino. What's
it's
up, bro?
good. It's not the best, but it's pretty good. Let's recommit here.
How's your on-paper marriage going? You're ignoring? Okay, good. Don't mind you. Why would I? I'm not gonna place landmines.
Very persistent. Very annoying, these R77s.
In your beautiful yard.
For
Just
sure,
got
it doesn't
to work
have the energy
nice.
to hit me now.
I hope Monday goes as well as a Monday can for you, brother.
We have
Love you, bro.
smoke off in the distance right there on the ground. You see that? There's a lot of smoke too. So that is one crashed Sukhoi 75 train.
Yep, that's definitely.
That's what happens when you come out here to try to kill a Raptor. You find out.
So this is our AMRAM. So this is why I was talking about it's important to, if you can, and you're not too defensive or too afraid of your adversary, you want to launch your missile as high as you can so it has as much potential energy that it convert into kinetic energy as possible when it's in terminal homing. Because obviously, it's not like the movies, this thing's rocket booster isn't on. The way that the fire control works for these Fox 3s and other long-range missiles is it uses all of its fuel to get its ass moving, and then it uses its fins here and its advanced guidance radar to get the last stage to the target. So it has to be moving with kinetic energy that's left over from everything that we gave it, which is why if you fire in high altitude, it's less dense air, it's less drag, it's less friction, you're getting it off to a better start. Because right here, literally what we're doing is basically a controlled fall. We're out of energy except for kinetic. There's no more potential because we don't have a second stage booster. We're hoping that we gave it enough at launch that it's going to be able to fight this plane all the way from it's doing its evasive maneuvers and everything else with its radar to hit it, basically gliding into it using these control surfaces, the fins on it, to guide it home to terminal. That's how it works. That's a little flex that Raptor pilots do. When they dogfight, they open the bay doors to show that they had more ways to kill you left over after you died. I want to find a Su-57 fight, and then I will end this stream. And I don't want to promise I'll be back later and do a real stream. There's some things I need to do in Dark Souls 1 and in 3 still. I would like to finish those two so that I can move on to some other games. Hi, Chi. But let's watch a Growling Sidewinder Su-57 fight. Just so I can prove to you guys that this thing is not F-22 versus Su-57. And I want this to be... Yep, here's a thrust vectoring fight. I want this to be a dog fight, not a BVR, beyond visual range, long range fight, which is what we just watched. Are you okay? You just made a noise. You don't need to throw up on me on stream for a third time. Okay? Okay, here's one. Here's a 57 and an F-22 and a dog. Hold on, I need to make a drink. Apparently he wants to go out. I'll be right back. Crazy ass dog. He was just outside. It's getting nice and warm out though, so I don't blame him. All right, last fight, and then I'm gonna leave. Maybe I'll be back later. Maybe I'll fuck off like I have been doing all week and not streaming. Ooh, and then we can raid Zyzerl. Zyzerl's going. He's a nice guy.
Hello,
playing
hello.
all kinds of different
Many
games
of
all
you were
month.
asking for an F-22 versus Sukhoi 57 fight. A little bit, I assume, from Maverick, Top Gun stuff. What if he had come with an F-22 instead of a Super Hornet, etc., etc. Well, we're gonna, I don't know, just do that fight here today. We've done this fight in the past, but I flew on the F-22 side. This time, I'll be flying on the Sukhoi.
See, here's the problem. I don't want to watch him fly the Su-57 because he'll win. I want to see. I think he actually loses that, which is good, but. Which one were we just watching? That one? Let's watch this. So, I haven't seen Top Gear Maverick yet, and I really need to. I'm aware that people that aren't even fans of the military like that movie is just a movie. But apparently they have the Su-57 in it, and I guess Maverick goes from updates from an F-14 to an F-18, which I have watched interviews of naval pilots say, yeah, the F-18 is better, but here's the thing about the old cat. The Tomcat is a completely, entirely analog plane. Think of it as driving an old Corvette versus a new Corvette. That plane will do whatever you want it to, even if it's not in your best interest. Whereas newer planes will be like, hey, I'm going to mechanically lock you out of doing that because this will probably kill you. The 14 will be like, okay, bet. I'll fucking do that. You want to pull that many G's? All right.
Good kill. Hey, good kill.
I bought my dad one of those "I'm a cat person"
Hey guys,
t-shirts.
welcome back to another
I
video.
had one that
We
was an
are in the
A10 Warthog's
F-22
aiming
here today,
reticle, but I
and
don't
as you
know where
can
the
see on
hell
the
that
Art of
shirt
War,
went.
we have a Sukhoi 57 off in the distance. That is the Felon. I'm going to try to pick him up on radar here, but basically the way I have this set up is I want to see how good the F-22 could be.
I'm going to be honest, I think an F-18 could be a Felon anyway.
If its stealth was really compromised, or the Russians had found a way to see, the F-22 and, other stealth fighters that the NATO side may have. As many of you are aware, Russia claims to be able to see stealth. Now, whether that means they can track it with a weapons solution or anything like that, I don't know. They claim that they can see the stealth, and they claim that their Sukhoi 57 is stealthy. I don't think...
1 second. Just 1 second, you guys. Just 1 second. Just one second, you guys. So this is the This is the super stealthy next generation Russian Sukhoi 57. Okay. All right. So do I need to explain this to the class, or like, do we understand? Do we understand why this is not? Can we see why this is not current generation technology? This is this. Oh, I haven't seen this one yet. Yikes. What the fuck is that? Okay, so do we get it, right? Like we see why Honor shits on this plane, right? We can see we can. Oh, what is that? Okay, all right. Okay.
They've ever claimed it was as stealthy as an F-22, but they do claim it has some stealth capability. So basically, we're here today under the assumption, the way I have this set up, is that the Russians can
Stealth. Yes, it does have some stealth capability. It can hide from a Walmart fish finder on a bass boat. At least for now, until they're all at the bottom of the fucking Black Sea, which is where they're gonna go if they ever get combat deployed.
see the F-22 stealth. It's obviously still going to have some stealth capability. It is a 5th gen stealth fighter at the end of the day. You're not going to be able to see it at the same distance that you might see an F-15, for example. But we're not going to have, we're going to assume that the Russians can kind of see the stealth a little bit better than maybe we think. We're going to go with what the Russian assumptions are. Basically, we're going to see how this fight plays out under those circumstances. Also worth mentioning, the Sukhoi 57 has all of its weapons, its R-77s, inside of the internal bays. It has no external pylons set up in this mission as to not compromise the stealth, and the same for the F-22. The only difference is the F-22 carries 6 internal AMRAAMs, and the Sukhoi 57 only carries 4 internal R-77s. So we do have a slight advantage in the amount of missiles we carry.
I believe
I'm a lot closer.
It could be Fat Amy, the F-35, but I believe the F-22 can carry more ordnance despite having an internal bay because it has kind of a rotary carriage system.
Tracking me. There he is. I got him on radar.
Whereas I'm assuming the Russian one is just 4 hard points that don't move.
And we're going to go ahead and start climbing here for a better weapon solution.
Whenever you hear the word angels and a number, that means thousands of feet. So Angel 6 is 6,000 feet. If it was Cherubs, it'd be hundreds. So Angel 6 is 6,000. Cherubs 5 would be 500 feet off the deck, altitude.
And his modern R-77s are also very dangerous, so we got to be careful here. Okay, he's fired on me, Fox 3, and we're going to defend.
Nope, it's just 6 across, 6 abreast. Maybe the F-35 has a rotary. I'm thinking of one.
So one of the things that makes the F-22 very special is its stealth capability, of course, right? There's a lot of other things, don't get me wrong, but the stealth is a big part of being a 5th gen fighter. So to have that compromised would be interesting for an F-22. It's still a fantastic fighter, though, so I think we can still do some interesting things here, but it's definitely going to be harder. Now we are off cold here to avoid his R-77.
So basically what he's highlighting here is that, yeah, the F-22 is immaculate. It's the best in the world. Like, all America bias aside, the F-22 is legitimately, objectively, the leading edge of stealth technology in the world. It's not meant to dogfight. It's meant to do that fight that we just watched, the beyond visual range engagements. It's meant to... You're never going to know what's coming. It's going to take out and establish air superiority. We call that CAP. Combat Air Patrol is a CAP, but it's going to establish air superiority. It's going to take out all of anything that could touch any of our other air assets. And then our 15s are going to come back in as quarterbacks and destroy everything else left. And then you're fighting our 18s and 16s. And then after that, you're fighting our A-10s. And if you're fighting our A-10s, it's over. It's literally over if we get A-10s and Apaches in there at that point. You're telling me that 22 is
I
cap?
can say that it lost track.
No, I'm telling you the 57 is cap.
Sound. That tells me the missile has probably lost lock. Another thing that
that shit is not a current or next gen plane,
it's
bro.
Be much easier to defeat missiles that have been launched at you if you have stealth. It's not all about just breaking the fighter's lock.
It's not a complete piece of shit.
So he's recommitted,
but it ain't what they say it is. And Jack, you know what happens when Russia says, "Ooh, look at this big, powerful thing we have." We make the F-15 Eagle. That's what happens.
And I got him locked. He's got me locked, and he might... Yeah, there's his missile. Fox 3 from me.
They made that, I think it was the 31, the Interceptor, right? They were like, ooh, look how fast, look at all it can do on paper.
And we're off cold
and
once
we were
again
like,
to
well, we're
defeat
going to
that
make
missile.
something better in
now,
real
a lot of these
life
fights
that
I've
can beat
mentioned
what
how
your
we
thing
don't wanna
does
go
on
to the merge,
paper.
we
And
wanna
they were
avoid the
like,
merge. Today's
oh,
going to be different.
fuck.
Somebody's got to die here today. It's either got to
And
be
the
me or it's
Eagle
gotta
is
be him,
still the
but,
premier
you know, somebody's got to die.
multi-role
So
fighter.
we are going to the merge regardless of how many missiles are fired. If we got to do a gun kill, we got to do a gun kill. But somebody's going to die here today. We are off cold. Once again, the RWR is clean, but I got to be real careful. Power lines here, we're going to dip underneath those. Saw them last second there.
Jeez, underneath the power lines. What's the wingspan on an F-22? Good God! You do this shit and you're not in an actual combat scenario, you're losing your wings, bro.
Out your window and like you see an F-22 fly under the power lines. All right, so we're gonna recommit here, and hopefully we can pick him up. He's pretty evenly matched with me. I think if I'm gonna win, I gotta force him defensive and then hit him with a follow-up shot, something like that. But in terms of recommitment, he's doing exactly what I'm doing. He's not late on his recommitments. You can see once again he's already recommitted.
You can literally boil. I know I make Dark Souls analogies for everything that I fucking can.
24 miles.
You can literally make
so I can get a better probability of kill.
modern dogfighting, even classic like prop pain dogfighting,
and we're defending.
PvP in Dark Souls analogies. You got to break their poise and then follow up with a good attack. But you can't be too aggressive, or you're not going to have any stamina, potential energy to cash into kinetic energy to get away if you need to, etc., etc.
All right, now I got a long way to dive down.
Basically,
so
everything is chess.
Dangerous. But I did fire a pretty good PK AMRAM, I think. Hopefully.
PK AMRAM, potential kill AMRAM. So that's not like a harassing shot. That's like a pretty confident this can kill. That's what he means by PK. Potential of kill.
Especially if he continues forward.
I think I mentioned that like an hour ago.
But I am defending here. You can see those missiles, his R-77s. They have a lot of trouble maintaining lock with me and coming with me like that. Also because I'm firing an AMRAM at him, he's being forced to defend it, which means he can't necessarily provide all the guidance information he wants for his R-77s.
Yep.
So he's being forced to break that lock in order to defend, and then the R-77 has to use its own radar, which it's obviously struggling with, holding lock. Here it is once again, it's found me. R-77 actually reacquiring me here. Got him locked. Fox 3 from me. And let's go ahead and defend, just to be careful.
It was a bold move to know that you've been reacquired by the R-77 and go ahead and launch a Fox 3. I don't know if all of his Foxes are AMRAMs or if he has some AIM-9Xs.
Even the R-77 reacquiring me doesn't really freak me out,
he's too fast.
I know its radar can see me, but it's never going to have enough energy to hit me.
He's already dragged it out too long. It's going to run out of energy even if it has a perfect lock. Because even though we're low to the ground, we were going like
we are
this.
Off cold. Being very
with our
careful
energy state, right?
Very close to him now. And
we're not like circling down in a 1 or 2 circle guns fight. Or Fox 2 fight to the ground, like just trying to stay alive, and then by the time we get there, we've literally spiraled out of energy, and we're just trying not to hit the ground. We're like roller coastering,
Here we go.
using the ground to terrain mask, but we're still keeping all our speed.
I'm gonna give him 2 Fox 3s here. Fox 3 and Fox 3.
He's going to be in a lot of trouble here. He's going to be in a lot of trouble here. That was a good move, though. You see, he arched his Fox 3, and he immediately defends down below. He knows we're over here somewhere. Obviously, he has us locked for this Fox 3, but he immediately launches one to harass us. That's probably a low PK missile. but he immediately goes down in terrain mass because he knows we're out here somewhere. He goes behind this, not just down in all this, which is great. He not just down in all this, which is helpful, but beneath this, which is very helpful. That was smart, but he's afraid, and he should be. See how he bowed up to launch that second Fox 3? That's what I'm telling you. You kick its ass, send it up through the low drag air first.
And we're off cold. Hopefully those...
You're getting all out of its legs that you can in terminal seeking.
Once again, diving down so we can drag any missile he's fired at me. Those missiles are going to be flying lead pursuit, right? Because they want to intercept. So they're going to fly lead. If I dive down, it might be able to lead them into the ground. That's one way you can defeat a missile. So it's nice to have altitude that you can give up when defending.
Cash in.
Trade for speed as you convert your gravitational potential into kinetic energy. And also, as you do that, you can drive those missiles into the ground.
And how many times have you heard me say convert potential to kinetic? And all of this stuff I'm saying, I learned from this channel. I'm just spitting it out to you, having watched this guy for like 4 or 5 years now in real time, because he's focused on the fight, but he's also still being educational. I can pause the video and tell you stuff that I've learned for fucking the last like 6 years. But it's all from him.
Now, down to Sidewinders.
This guy taught me everything.
So I don't... Yeah, there he is. He came up on RWR once again, so he's still alive. So we're going to have to go find him and dogfight him, I think. And if I've counted correctly, he's all out of missiles too. He's just down to his Fox 2s. Whoa, did you see that? Missile just went right by. Wow.
That was close. That's an intercept missile. That's why we're low to the ground. It never hurts to be low to the ground. So an intercept missile wants to intercept you. It wants to be in front of you. It's not chasing you. It's trying to fire control to literally intercept you.
In front of my face.
So the lower you are to the ground, you can make it hit the ground before you.
Right there for no reason.
It never hurts to be close to the ground unless you're in a guns-only fight. You've given up all your energy.
That was very, very close. I am being tracked by him, and he's over here somewhere. He's lost lock again. There's that stealth helping me out. I don't see him either, though. That's a problem. He's over here somewhere. We'll head in his general direction. Felon's a huge plane, too. He's going to be very easy to spot, I would imagine.
That is a thick girl.
Unless he's hiding in those mountains somewhere.
It's very easy to visually
He should be around
identify.
here somewhere.
The Raptor is much sleeker. It still has a large wingspan.
There he goes. Got him. Got him. Merged. Okay, we're going vertical. He didn't come vertical with me. He's going to be in trouble.
Yep. So we have a lot more potential energy here because he stayed low.
He did. He's got a missile off. He's got the Archer off.
Pulling lots of G's.
Oh, I think it just missed me, man.
I believe the Archer is the Russian equivalent of a Sidewinder. So like their close Fox 1-ish missile. That cranked a lot. So that right there, that would have probably killed any other plane. Maybe not an F-15. But in that state, from that shot, with how good that missile is, that probably would have killed any other plane. You gotta understand, when we talk about stealth with the Raptor, we're not just saying, oh, the radar from way far out can never see us. Oh, it's just hard to visually see. Oh, it's so sneaky. It compounds every solution that anything with a radar that has to do with it by a factor of question mark. So, yeah, I mean, obviously now his long-range missiles have been able to see us and pretty accurately track us. We almost got hit by one of his Fox 3s, right? His intercepts. But that missile, being the Fox 1 that it is, would have probably hit any other airframe. The fact that it had to very quickly do all this fire control, you see, we're graying out. We're pulling a shit ton of G's. Any little reduced profile signature you can get to help yourself at all cost a lot for the enemy missile. That's why that was a miss. The flares probably helped, but everything compounded together is what makes the F-22 so great. Because it's not just, oh, our radar can finally see it from far away. It's everything that's using radar to track and guide to and intercept and kill the Raptor.
All right, he's now
is having a much harder time.
2 times to killing me. And those guns were close too. That's 3. I'm going over the top once again. See if I can use gravity.
The only thing
to get
that
my nose
you
to
can't
drop
beat with
down,
stealth
give me
is
the Fox 2
guns.
shot. There he is flaring. He knows what's coming. Fox 2. And oh, it went right underneath him. Okay, all right, we got 1 left. He has 1 left, I got 1 left. Looks like he's super slow here. He might have just made a critical mistake. Look at him, he's falling out of the sky here.
That was very dumb.
And I've got
I don't
the
know why he
momentum to
did
come
that.
over
I
top
think he was
again.
waiting to see if he could force an
Locked
overshoot for a
Fox
gun
2.
solution. That's going to be a lethal
It's
Fox 2.
tracking. Splash 1 felon.
That's an easy
Wow.
PK Fox 2.
Hard, a hard fought victory there. Almost died 3 times. Fantastic fight. Splash 1 felon.
As an easy PK Fox 2. He made a very big mistake when he cashed in all his energy there. I think he was trying to hope it was a 2-circle fight and get him to pull him into the HUD and be greedy and force an overshoot for a guns kill. Nope. We took the vertical and we had the easiest Fox 2 solution ever. Interesting fight. That wasn't so much of a dog, like a 3 or 5 round best out of 5 or best 2 out of 3 dog fight. That was, here's what would happen if let's say an F-22 versus a Su-57, because that's not a current or next gen stealth fighter. If 2 stealth fighters that were never meant to merge did come to emerge. Ooh, I want to do one more because I have this J-20, which is the Chinese equivalent of the next-gen stealth fighter versus my beloved Eagle. But I only want to do it if it's a close-in fight. Because we've been watching some Beyond Visual Range stuff.
Good kill. Hey, good kill.
Yeah, fuck it. I'm having fun. I don't care. It's my stream. Here's my beautiful bird. My favorite.
Hey guys, welcome back to another video. We're here in the F-15E Strike Eagle today, and we're going to be taking on
This is Strike Eagle, so this is like the
J-20.
bomber variant, I
Now,
believe.
for anybody who doesn't
like
know,
the ground
the
attack.
J-20 is supposed to be maybe the greatest thing that China has in its arsenal, for the most part, at least, that we know about. It's a 5th generation, supposedly, stealth fighter that the
That thing is not 5th generation. They haven't even finished out how to make the engine yet. They have a prototype of it with an engine from its previous airframe. The engine for it is not done, and also it's not stealth.
Chinese have made, so it should make for.
I shouldn't
kind of
stream
an
this because I
interesting
just
fight here,
talk shit on other
especially with the
military.
F-15's powerful radar.
It's true though. Sorry. Yeah, it looks cool, but like
I
that
love seeing how
doesn't
well
win
the F-15's
fights,
radar picks up little things,
especially
with
when
very
you
low
can't
cross-sections in the
produce the thing.
back. Obviously, a tremendously powerful radar.
I mean,
That's a well-known thing about the
Tiger
F-15.
tanks look cool,
I've heard stories that during Desert Storm or Desert Shield,
but we
before
can
Desert
make
Storm, they
M4
would
Shermans
be
and keep
flying
them
around, they
fed
would
with
just
fuel and
lock up,
ammo.
Iraqi aircraft as they took off from their runway. They would just instantly hardlock them.
Hi, Mary. No,
and
you
scare them
don't. No, you don't
with
see
the
me.
F-15's radar.
I don't know if
Mary,
that was true or
I
not.
haven't
Like,
said
I
anything in
wasn't
your
there,
streams.
but
I've been
that's the
lurking in
story
and
that
out
I've
of
heard,
them. I
and,
don't want to upset anybody.
if that's true, that's a tremendous.
I'm glad that you're playing games together again,
So,
but I have like specifically
we got
not
this J20 on radar here. Look at this.
commented
Got 'em
on
blocked.
anything.
65 miles. Pretty good.
But I see
Solid
you
track at
too.
65
I don't
miles.
want you to think that I just don't watch your streams anymore.
And what I am going to do... Oh, he's locking me as well. So he sees me as well. No shame in that. I'm not stealth. So
And Mary, we're just nerding out. This is a test stream. I'm just watching dogfights.
what I am going to try to do is break his lock behind this island here. I'm staying pretty low altitude. That stops him from shooting. At this altitude, it's not going to...
This is my favorite plane, Mary. This is the F-15 Eagle. This is my favorite.
Well, neither will I, of course. So that is, in my opinion, one of the shortcomings of the F-15. Like, if you can see something from 80, 90, 160 miles out, but you can't shoot at it, it's like kind of a shame, you know? I kind of wish he had like a super long-range missile. Broke the lock. Lost it. He's still trying to lock me. You can hear him. But I'm going to put this landmass between me and him, which is going to make him unable to lock me as he continues to try there. But hopefully that should drag him in, get him a little closer, and make it very easy for me to find him on radar. Not that it was hard already, but it'll make it even easier.
The Eagle's radar is so crazy, insanely good. It's like too good for how old of an airframe it
discussion has
is.
gone out about
That's why
if
we're not.
Canards are stealthy.
Fun fact. As good as the Raptor is, we're not renewing our contract to make more Raptors. What we're making is a better, newer, more powerful, more stealthy Eagle. Because it's more cost effective. And the Raptors that we have are so meticulously well maintained that they're going to have a good service life. And we can always make more later. We're just not renewing for now. And by that time, shit, we can probably make a Raptor 2 that'll be even crazier. We just, like, I think our fleet is 120 something Raptors that we have versus Russia's 6 Su-57s. Allegedly, they have 6 combat capable of Su. Yeah, right, whatever. But the F-15 Silent Eagle is going to be insane.
Evidently, the Chinese think it is. I have no opinion one way or the other. I've never done studies on stealth and canards. We're going to go ahead and recommit here. You guys let me know what you think.
Have a
if they
fleet of
are
chickens.
stealthy or not.
That would be good too.
34 miles. I'm going to go ahead and climb.
Does that count? Yeah, no, that's good, dude.
Good
Like,
launch
logistics
parameters
is
here for the
super
first
important.
launch. Give this
People
J20
overlook
a
that
hard time.
in military stratagem, Mary, but having a fleet of chickens, that's
lots of
actually
gear.
because you can,
Got
you
the
know,
shoot
you can
cube
have them
in the
lay
F-15, but we're
eggs.
gonna
You
get
can
a little
use
bit
the
closer.
feathers, right, for plumage on
10,000
arrows.
feet now. We are 27 miles. You can see
You don't
that
just have to
circle
cook and
expanding
eat
on
the
HUD.
chickens. You
That's a
can,
good
you know,
shoot
you have the
cube. Fox
eggs,
3 from me.
all that stuff. That's important. That's worth something.
And we'll go ahead and defend this first one here. I don't want to get too far from this landmass. I'm actually going to hold this landmass.
I like when he's playing this game and
as my
I
base
see a
from which I
golf
will
course. I
fight.
try to see if I can identify
use
which
that
golf
little
course it
island as
is.
cover, and I'll keep that J20 out over the water where he has nowhere to hide from my AMRAAMs. And, you know, that's pretty important. You got to use...
I don't know if he said where. He usually doesn't say where we're fighting. I don't know if this is Hawaii or near the Chinese islands. Like the Paracel Islands. I want to say that's Blue Bay, but I could definitely... I don't know where Blue... Let's look that up really quick. Hanine Resort. Oh, it could actually be. It could actually be. It could actually be. Oh, I think I actually got it. I think I actually got Yo, what? I think I actually got it. I think I actually got it. I think I actually just saw a golf course in a combat flight simulator game. And geolocated it. What? That doesn't help. What is that? I think that's what just happened. I think that's what I just did. I think there's a potential. I'm not I think I'm right, actually. I think I'm actually fucking right. Okay, well. Alright, well, I guess I'm right. Maybe. I don't know. The more I look, the more I think I am actually right. Alright, well, cool. If I'm not, you know, whatever.
Whatever you have.
If I'm not right, it was a good-ass guess.
There's no, like, this concept of fighting fair or, you know, this aircraft versus that aircraft isn't fair. None of that matters. You know, like, never in these scenarios are we trying to be fair. If there was a way for me to, I don't know, throw some sand in his face before we fought, I would do that too. The objective is make him die for his country instead of you dying for yours, as General Patton would say. We'll go ahead and recommit here. See if we can get him back on radar.
I'm like weirdly confident that I'm actually right about that, though. That would be funny if it was true. I don't know if, like, maybe there's a way to cross-reference this with DCS map locations.
Okay, nice. I see him on...
But given that we're fighting a J-20 in the topography of this location, I feel like I have a good chance of being correct.
Oh, he has shot at me. That's great.
I love this HUD and cockpit.
It's actually sarcasm. It's not good, because I am not in range to take this shot. We're 23 miles out.
I think 19 is what we need.
That's a PL-15 or whatever. Those things are pretty long range. 21 miles, 5,000, 4,000 feet. We're going to go ahead and send them one here. Fox 3.
Just 3 off the rails. I think 19 miles is what we need for ours. Now, we're fighting with like a legacy Eagle and the ground attack variant against what is programmed or modded into DCS as the most optimistic variant of the J-20 that you could imagine. So that's why he's out shooting us as far as range with Fox 3s.
Actually, let me give him another one.
I forgot to turn subtitles on. I thought they would just stay on video to video, but my bad.
Would that be so wrong? We'll defend here. Give him 2 missiles to defend. And this will be a tight one. I stayed committed for quite some time, but at 14 miles, we are now breaking off. Once again, defending towards the island. Right over all of these guys driving underneath. Rolling. Not that this really does anything to defeat the missile, although that roll did just defeat that missile. So as soon as I say that, you know. All right, we're gonna go around.
Spinning isn't flying, but it's a neat trick.
Here, a little bit of altitude on this island. We're gonna go ahead and recommit from behind here. See if we can catch him again, assuming he's still alive.
Man, the Eagle looks so good. I love the F-18. I have to as a sailor, but oh, the Eagle, dude. And the F-18 is a beast. Like, as far as what it can do, that thing is a workhorse.
He's died.
The F-15 is just beautiful. I fucking love that plane. That is the best looking plane. Like, the F-22 is sexy and all, but the Eagle, dude.
He's got to be low altitude.
I fucking love that thing. The twin engines, the twin
3,000 feet. I don't see him.
tail rudders. the big
Maybe
dual
that stealth is
intakes.
actually working for him a
That
little
thing
bit
is just
here.
like
Super search does
a
the same
fucking
either, apparently.
62 Mustang on wings. It's so American.
Yeah, not picking him up with super search either, and he shot at me, so we are gonna have to defend here, and I don't know the range. I don't know how close he got to me.
I
there,
think
so
I
we might
literally
actually die here.
geolocated where we are based on the golf course. The more I
Okay,
look at
we're
like the island
Dive
and what
down,
I
drag
googled
that
really
missile into
quickly
dead
there, I
center.
think I'm actually right.
Try to hide behind this hill again. That's why I kept this hill. Be useful for situations like this. Dive down under the hill here. There we go.
Shut up,
Cover.
computer. You don't know.
Dude, how is that missile still tracking me? I'm just gonna recommit. I don't have time to be defensive this long. Get our nose back pointed at him.
Meep. Thank you, Ronnie. Thank you, son.
When that happens and you're defensive for long durations like that, that's when they push you. So another reason why terrain masking is good is, you know, you can dip back there, scrap the missile.
Okay, now I know what it looks like. I know it looks like his Rio, his radar intercept operator, his backseater. Looks like he has cat ears on his helmet. Unfortunately, no. Those are the, you know, the tops of the seat. Actually, now if I was a fighter pilot, I would demand my cat ears, but
I think I can actually see him.
you know.
I see two splashes in the water out there, which I think were my two missiles. So that's fantastic. I think I see something over the water. I'm gonna keep the super search pointed that way, but it's not locking anything up for me.
So when he says he thinks he sees something, there's two things you got to know. First of all, this guy has an insane rig. You're so tired of laying down? Yeah, I've been sleeping a lot lately. I think I had like some weird flu or infection or something the last week. That's why I like was not on stream or in friend streams very much at all. I was sleeping like 16, 18 hours a day, which I probably needed. Like nice little week-long reset. Part of that is because I'm time traveling to when my girlfriend comes home from deployment. When he says he thinks he sees something and he's like zooming in, he's playing this on like a giant TV and like with like a crazy joystick and everything. But what I'm looking at right here, this is the radar display. So you manually operate where your radar track and search like fields and gains are, like you would in real life, like what I did in real life. I missed my job. I'm looking at this when he says he thinks he sees something. So just so you know, this display right here, it's like this on most fighters, but especially on the Eagle. This is what the radar is looking at.
Maybe we can cycle it. Still not working. Let's go. So Boresight. Is Boresight gonna work? Yeah, Boresight got him. Here we go. 9 miles. Wow. Fox 3. Yeah, Fox 3 again. Give him a 2. Let's go.
So what boresight means is instead of like you're basically like everywhere you told your radar to look, fuck that. Look straight in front of us. Just focus everything straight in front of where I'm looking right now. And see if you can pick something up. Because I think I see something visually straight in front of us.
Alright, well, we're over the water, which was not what I intended. I wanted to be over on the landmass there, but this is where we are. The water's super dangerous, man. One of those missiles sees you, and that thing will commit onto you, and, you know, it's going to catch you with your pants down and your U-Ha blowing in the wind, if you know what I mean. Now, that guy didn't look like he actually shot at me. That J-20 is busy defending.
So those are our missiles. So what he means by that is it's a lot harder. Remember all that shit I talked about terrain masking 2 fights ago? With like the trees and the snow on the ground and all the ground clutter and all that stuff. The water, when it's in a calm sea state, when the sea's a little mad, she can help you a little bit with wave caps and stuff. That's more so from ship to ship fighting. You have to worry about sea clutter. when you're in an actual like Fox 3 and in missile fight, the sea is not going to terrain mask for you like at all. It's very static.
Both of those missed also.
And you would think that doesn't make sense, Hunter, because what about the ground? The ground has trees and undulating terrain and animals moving around on it.
Telling him he's safe.
And Blue Bay Resort golf course right there.
Commit super quickly here. Drop the tanks.
Go Moriuji Tanagarn. She's my favorite.
And he did recommit. Come on, where you at, buddy? I don't see him. I'm gonna pull. I'm gonna pull all the way through. Pull towards the island here. He's locking me. He shot at me. That's not good. I don't like that. I don't like being shot at. I'm coming back to
I know I keep saying one more and doing the classic Xander inning, but I have one more, and I have a Desert Storm F-18
well so far.
mission that we're going to watch next.
Okay, there we go. Should be, yeah, okay.
That was terrain mask.
Oh my god, it's still there. Okay, it's alright.
Wow, it chased him through all that? That's impressive. That's a good missile they have. Again, it's modded into the game to be like the most optimistic version. It's like the on-paper stats that their government says it is, not... There's no real-world performance to base it off of.
It's kind of freaking me out.
And I can almost assure you that
this is gonna be
a fan of that government is probably who put the mod in. Like how War Thunder works.
I think I see him visually here. Come on, give me the bore sight, man.
This eagle is fighting him today.
I'm looking right at him.
The eagle's radar is like the best.
And I still don't have a lock. Come on.
He's getting like scuffed in this fight somehow.
He's right here. Actually, yeah. Yeah, he was outside of 10 miles. Okay, Fox 3.
That's a high PK.
I think the bore sight ACM mode is limited to 10 miles. The super search might go out to 40, if I recall correctly. Look at him, he's defending here. I don't think he shot at me. I'm going to push him. I saw him flanking. I shot that missile. He should be defending that missile now. And while he's busy doing that, I'm going to push him here. We're inside of 10 miles now. Get another lock on him. 6 miles, Fox 3 again. There we go. Keep him defending.
Okay, now we're going to saturate him with missiles. He's going to break down. We're going to break his poise.
Ruin his situational awareness. Keep him defending missiles.
Then we're going to get in and either Fox 2 him or gun him.
Commit to a mutual kill here. But I'm going to push him anyway because he's actually going to defeat that one, I think. Let's give him another one in a moment here. Hold on. Got to make sure the probability of kill is high. 3 miles. Fox 3.
That's a good PK Fox 3.
2 miles. 100% that hits him. Nice splash.
Yep.
Oh, whoa.
He's out.
It's a secondary explosion there and he like disintegrated. Wow. I wonder if that's like some sort of like Chinese self-destruct so they can't get the technology. if it's damaged, it just disintegrates.
He's joking.
With the pilot.
But maybe. Good fight. I wouldn't even be surprised. I wouldn't put it past them to be like, you go to eject and it just self-destructs your entire airframe. Alright, let's watch this last mission. This was only going to be a 20-minute stream, but we'll watch this last one. I'm out of here. Like I said, I might come back and do a real stream later, but I don't want to promise that I will. I just want to watch this VOD back and see if everything's working again.
Hey guys, welcome back to another video. We're here in Desert Storm.
Here's my Hornet.
We got some F-18s over here and some F-15s out in front. As you can tell, we are in a Hornet, and up there is an AWACS escorted by 4 F-15s. just in case anybody tries to take them out. And as you can tell, it's nighttime. We got to.
I do have a new World War II series
installation at an airfield
of this game, like hyper-realistic flight sim game, but it's World War II missions that we can watch next. Not today, but intermittently on and off. It looks so cool under the Gen 1 night vision. I mean, this looks better than Gen 1 night vision, but that's for quality of life for the game.
I'm sure you can tell, it's nighttime, so situational awareness will be key.
This is pretty much what
set up the aircraft.
a cockpit looks like in Gen 1 night vision. I know because I've been in a Black Hawk wearing Gen 1 night vision.
A very short time after Desert Storm. But we are.
It looks like this.
Three Sparrows. Let me pull up the EW page here. This is this. Good. We'll have to put the dispenser to bypass. That basically means that I will control the countermeasures. I got my SA page, situational awareness page, pulled up. And looking on radar, we got bandits off the nose.
This is why I love these older cockpits versus like the newer, more streamlined, like here's just an LCD of information. All of these like manual buttons and rotary barrel switches and stuff, that's what I fought war with. That's what I used. I had to learn my console and what everything did and do it in the dark with a gas mask on and a flash hood on and like fire preventive gloves on with no lights and be able to fucking warfight. And I trust that more than a fucking smartphone touchscreen that's like, oh, it depends on what you're on. You know, you can't swipe on it sometimes if it gets one raindrop on it. And like everything moves around because it's a touchscreen, which is great. That's cool for normal people. I like this button does this one thing. And it has a tactile, audible sound when you press it.
34,000 feet on the far right flank. He's all by himself. And I think I'm the furthest on the right flank, so I think this guy's my problem. I'll have to deal with this guy.
Look at the stars.
And I'm pretty sure he's a MiG-29. You see the HUD identifying him, draws a little box around him, but the box is the shape of a diamond. That's identifying him as hostile. Situational awareness page is showing him as hostile. Showing him as a MiG-29 as well. Yeah, there's more guys to the left there. EW page confirming that.
EW is electronic warfare.
I'm looking at a hostile here. He's 21 miles. We are 350 knots. Where are those
350 at 21. Yeah, we'd like the Eagle to take a shot at this,
but the guys on the left. There's more of them on the left there. Can't quite make them out, but they're over there. So I think the Eagle's shifted left, which shouldn't be a problem. I should be able to handle this MiG-29 by myself.
129 for an F-18.
Assuming the Sparrows don't let me down.
That's so much better than a 50-50 shot. Now, the problem with our first Gulf War Sparrows was they were not very reliable. They kind of sucked. Very disappointed in the performance of our Gulf War Part 1 Sparrows. But these are ideal parameters for it to have a good chance of hitting it.
9 miles. Fox 1.
Fox 1.
Okay, Sparrow in the air. The Sparrow being a Fox 1, it means it's actually a semi-active homing missile, which means that I have to provide guidance all the way to missile impact. If I break lock for even a second, that missile is done.
The next time I stream, I will do a video explaining to you guys the different Fox codes. Fox 1, 2, and 3. That is something that I would like to teach you guys, because it took me a while to understand it. But if you're going to continue to watch me for some reason, I don't know why anyone really watches me ever. If you're going to continue to watch me watch these fighter plane gameplays and talk over them, I would like for you to have a basic understanding of the Fox codes.
Unlike the AMRAAM. This guy didn't shoot at me, so I'm recommitting back onto him at 6.8 miles. I think that Sparrow missed, but I'm going to hold that luck.
So basically, this is a Fox 1. Which means we have to walk it all the way home. We can't break off and defend. We have to maintain our lock on our radar gimbal limits. So we can, you know, like I said earlier about the thing about peripheral vision, which is how much can I look this way while keeping my eye on that guy. There's no, we can't look away and then look back. A Fox 1 is you have to not necessarily stare him down, but you have to keep him within the radar gimbal limits, within your peripheral vision, the whole way she goes home.
Case that Sparrow's super dedicated.
Wouldn't Fox 1 be super vulnerable to EW? Yes, but this is the Iraqi Air Force in 1991.
Him again. Oh, wow, that Sparrow actually got him. All right, splash 1. Very good.
It's Jack. That's an interesting question because it's kind of a double-edged sword. Yes, it'd be vulnerable to EW as far as countermeasures, like active countermeasures, but since you're literally, it's kind of like a tow missile, right? Like there's like you're almost it's like the aerial version of a tow missile. Since that's like as closest to like a physical connection, like terminal end to end, fiber optic transmission terminal guidance you can give to a missile is a Fox 1. Like you're providing your plane's radar guidance all the way home. That actually makes it the least susceptible to passive electronic warfare countermeasure. Besides, guns. Which you're fucked. If I get you in guns, you're done. That's it. It's over.
Alright, but I'm already being locked by another guy. I think it's this guy right here.
And I can see where you're coming from with that question, Jack, but our planes, like the mothership's radar and homing and targeting is always going to be better by far than even the most advanced onboard guidance system for a passive missile, right? If you just think about the sheer size and weight that we can put on a warhead, right?
Trying to bore sight lock him. He shot a missile, not at me though. Got him locked. And he's coming towards me, 7 miles. I'm gonna shoot this guy. Fox 1.
Okay, another Sparrow.
Hold that lock.
Ooh, those afterburners are cooking, but it's in night vision, so
I don't know
that
what
looks
that
like a
is.
high
All I
PK.
know is that it's hostile because of the diamond on my HUD.
That looks
Look
like
at
a good
Sparrow
PK.
Really working to get him. Oh, I think it's gonna get him. Wow, it missed him somehow.
I can't believe that missed. That was such
That's
a good
crazy.
shot.
He's gonna turn into me here.
The Sparrows had very disappointing
Fox
performance.
again.
He's flaring. Yeah.
I thought it.
He's
I
like
guess 1
panic
mile's
flaring.
Not a lot for a Sparrow. That was kind of dumb. So we wasted that one. But I am merged with this guy, and I think he's a MiG-29. I think he's a MiG-29. Here we go. We got Tone, Fox 2.
There we go. Let's get that Sidewinder.
Didn't track. And I don't know if he can see me or what's going on, if he's lost situational awareness, but his afterburner is still in.
Sidewinder is much
and
more
he's not
reliable than
flaring,
the Sparrow.
Which makes me think maybe he doesn't see me.
Yeah, this guy seems like kind of scared, like a rookie pilot who's never been in a fight before. He's flaring like crazy.
Either that or he's desperately trying to get away. But I'm going to get him here. We've got him in a vertical lock. Fox 2. That one is tracking. Yep.
That's
yep.
a PK.
Nice.
Yep.
Splash 1.
So the whole Growling Sidewinder thing, that's in your operator headset when your Sidewinder is telling you, hey, shoot me now. I've got him. That's what it sounds like.
But I'm going to get him here. We've got him in a
Sounds like that.
vertical lock. Fox 2. That one is tracking. Yep. Nice. Splash 1. Got that MiG-29. Oh, we got some AAA from the ground.
So if you ever hear me say I've got good tone when I'm like playing a game, I'm just saying I have a good lock. And it's a reference to the AIM-9
Looks like we
Sidewinder.
have an ejection here.
It looks so crazy in night vision. This is what it looks like. This is what the Middle East looks like in night vision. Whole lot of nothing, and then like a sea of lights.
And
Densely compacted.
Whoa.
That is
Yeah,
too close. That was too
AAA is
close.
actually fairly accurate.
That was way too close. That was way too fucking close. We're out in front of it, but that's
look at
way
that.
too. Go up.
Wow.
Go up. Go
They did not
upstairs,
like
please.
Their MiG-29 buddy getting shot down right above their head. There's multiple AAA positions here. This whole town is full of AAA. Some of those were close.
Yeah, way too close. Now, whenever you see stuff like this, you gotta understand it's not as close as it looks like. Obviously, you know, the ammunition being shot isn't as large in diameter as this bright glowing ball. That's because that's what night vision is doing, is amplifying radiant light to let you be able to see something, right? You also have to understand that by the time that our eyes perceive the light reflected and refracted off the surface that we're already looking at through an electrical optical device, that thing has long since gone. So the ones of these that look just right on us are actually missing us on our tail. But it's still scary, and that is still very accurate. AAA is usually not that accurate.
Look at that, more AAA. These guys are very determined. Alright. There's other guys in the air, but the F-15s will take care of those guys. I have no more missiles, Sparrows or Sidewinders, so I need to get on target. I still have a couple harms. Let's head over to the airfield.
HARM is an anti-radiation missile. A HARM is really interesting. So anti-radiation missile, basically what you're doing is you want an enemy like surface-to-air or air-intercept missile ground-based site to lock onto you, and your missile is going to use their radar locking onto you to guide itself home. So it's a risky move, but that's what we do. And we do it better than anybody else, and all you have to do is make sure you're in the right position to where they're trying to computate a fire control solution on you, but our missile has more range than that. So you just kind of, you know, like, hey, look at me, I'm over here. And they don't know that they're using their own radar against them to guide your ordnance straight to them.
We got to open the door for ourselves.
That's what a HARM is.
There's a bunch of dogfighting going up over there.
I believe
But
it
again,
stands
not
for,
my
it's
problem.
something anti-radiation missile. It
Heading to
might
the
be high
airfield,
altitude or high explosive.
There is apparently an operational SA-3 and possibly an SA-6 here. One of those S's you see on the HUD is a search radar. That's the actual target. And we'll pull it up on the TGP in a little bit. Just confirm that location before we hit it with a nice juicy 2,000-pound bomb. Airfield is right.
So we fought those two MiGs, right? And our whole point, we're on a ground attack mission. That's why the F-18 is such a good multi-role fighter. So is the F-16 actually, but the F-18, you know, is carrier based and can carry more and has twin engines. So it's impressive to be able to have combat external jettisonable fuel tanks and our full ground attack, like our bomb ordnance loadout, and be able to dogfight MiGs that are clearly, they're only on a slick air intercept mission. They're only carrying anti-air missiles. We're still out maneuvering and out fighting them in our Hornet.
There we go. We're being spiked by an SA-3. We're going to shoot the HARM here in self-protect mode. You can see SA-3. Magnum.
Okay, Magnum is like one of the codes. That is a missile. So Fox 1 through 3 is for air-to-air. Magnum is a missile launched from an air attack specifically for a ground target. They're different when they're helicopters and if they're A-10s. If they're A-10s, you would say rifle. Same goes for the Apache. But the Magnum is specific to the HARM. And like I said, that's the anti-radiation missile. And when he said we're getting spiked by that, it means not only can it see us, it's actively fire controlling on us. So think of it as search. Okay, we know they can see us. Track. They're aiming at us. So Magnum away, that's the harm. And that's riding their own radar to us into them. It can do that.
And that harm should go and find that SA3 and hit him right in the face. And we'll turn away in case he does shoot.
So we don't need to... So for the harm, we don't need to keep our nose on them like with a Fox 1. We just need to keep their eyes on us. And that thing's going to ride that beam all the way home.
But we'll stay high altitude enough that the radar will continue to illuminate me, trying to get a solution on me, which means that the harm will have something to hit. Any second now, I think, assuming it doesn't miss. Nice impact.
That just killed 4 assets by area of explosion.
You hear that instantly when the missile hit.
From
the
them
sound
just
stops,
trying to
the
defend
RWR
themselves.
stops.
That's how scary we can
So
be.
we'll turn back in. If there's no one else, we can begin our bomb run. Oh, there's an SA6 active. He turned on when I killed his SA3 buddy. We'll give him a Magnum here.
Okay, another Magnum away. This is another harm going to another radar installation. Another air intercept site.
Looks like he didn't learn his lesson from what happened to his SA3 friend.
There's probably
He
not
wants
good
to find out what
communication
harm
between
does
them.
too.
They probably thought that was just an unguided bomb because they're not trained how to counter this kind of
I can
stuff.
see the harm going.
I can see it too in the night vision over there coming out of the
That's
right-hand
kinda
side of
cool.
your screen. That's going to guide home. I can see the SA600.
Impact.
Shack.
There we go. Good hit.
Whew. That's a lot of assets to take out with one Magnum.
All right. Oh, whoa. We're taking some AAA here. Look at this. Oh, they really went for it that time. There's AAA everywhere. You can't take your eye off the ball here. Let's set up the bomb. We'll set up the... It's a Mark 84. Like I said, it's a 2,000 pounder.
Okay, now I'm going to be interested to see if he uses CCIP here, which is continuously something intercept point. Basically what CCIP does is it's going to paint a straight line on your HUD, and it's going to automatically adjust for your speed and altitude as long as you're level and on the right heading. And then you can just pickle, which is releasing an unguided or laser-guided bomb. Basically, pickle for an aircraft is just bomb. Bombs away. Think about it like that. And it's just going to calculate what you're doing to be correct. And it's unguided, but it's not going to let you drop it in a way that it won't be successful. That's what CCIP does.
We can auto drop it, which should help with not getting hit by the AAA.
That's different than CCIP. Auto drop literally just means you're going to fly over it where it tells you to, and it's going to just automatically bombs away it for you, given your pitch, roll, yaw, everything three-dimensionally about your flight profile, your speed, and your altitude, right? To where it knows, okay, this is like a high PK. That's different than CCIP, which is continuously computer-generated input point. That you still have manual release over. It's just like kind of hard to fuck that up. They're kind of the same thing, two different approaches.
Well, let me just find it here with the TGP, and then we'll roll in. There's the airfield. It should be behind the SA3. It's right there. Right there. That thing right there. That's our objective. So I'll designate that. And then we'll get this little release queue, which I'll have to line up. 11 seconds to release. 9, 8, 7. This is bad. I'm not lined up. I'm not lined up. I missed the queue. I missed it. Okay, you know what? I'm going to undesignate the TGP, and we're just going to CCIP drop this. It'll
Okay,
be a
so
little
we are going to
risky.
go to CCIP instead. So since he couldn't level off and get to where it wanted to for auto, we're going to use CCIP, which is again is more of like a real time. We have to manually release it, but we're likely not going to miss as long as we're leveled off and on this line that's on our HUD here. That's what we see. You haven't seen this yet today in my videos. Well, me watching his videos, my reaction videos. This is the CCIP. That's the continuously computated input point or something like that is what that stands for.
We might get hit by AAA, but we're going to go for it. Do it the old-fashioned way. Continuously computed impact point.
Continuously computed impact point.
Here. I'm going to put the cross right on the target and pickle, and we'll pull away.
That's going to for sure hit.
And impact. There we go, good hit. Dropping some flares as we pull away.
That's so scary accurate, dude.
And there's the AAA.
It's that
Very
easy.
Unhappy about what we just did. But that's the Hornet for you, jack of all trades. This thing fought its way
It is that
in,
easy to put a
did some air-to-air, did some
200,000
sea,
pound
took out
high
the,
explosive
SA6,
munition
SA3, and then delivered
on a
bombs
static
on
ground target
Just another day in the life of a Hornet.
from a fighter jet. There's nothing you can do about that. There's no EW counter to that. That's not using laser, infrared, radar, GPS, guidance. That's literally just the plane being like, if you do it now, it should be good. There's nothing you can do about that. Alright, thanks for watching the test stream. I appreciate it. Let's do the end stream here. Let's raid somebody. Let's raid somebody. Who do we want to raid? Is Zai still going? I want to raid Zizril. Zizril's still going. Let's raid my buddy Zizril. Is he still? Who's all going? Let me see. If Zai's going, I want to raid. Zai is going. Mary's also going. But I want to raid Zai only because he has less viewers. Alright, thanks for watching the test stream. I'm gonna watch this back and make sure the sound is okay. Oh no, we can't raid Zai! Okay, we're gonna raid Mary. Dang it. Well, can I shout out Zai? Go follow Zai. He's cool. We love Zai. He's a nice guy. He's awesome. Also, and they're not here, but I still want to shout them out because they're also awesome. What? I believe everybody else has already been shouted out, thanks to the beautiful, fabulous Benny Biscuit. We're gonna raid Mary, because I don't have anybody else live. I mean, Mary's a great raid target. We love Mary. Thanks to everybody who stopped by during the Haunter nerding the fuck out over Fighter Plane stream. I wish I could raid Zai, but go follow him. Please. Thank you. Say hi to Mary for me. I know you don't like me and everything, but still. Shut the fuck up.